So, just a little additive. I wanted to talk about something while Lucy wasn't here. But anyway, I just dropped her off right now, and where I usually drop her off, there's like tons of cars here dropping off kids. So, the park strip, where the trees are, they're all full of water. It's all puddly, so it has actually more water than the freaking gutter. So I had to park out a little bit, and I was like, Lucy, go out to this way. And I go, you're gonna get in the walk the gutter back towards the crossing guard, and then get on the sidewalk and run, because her mom didn't give her a jacket, for one. And then she's like, oh, don't worry, I have an umbrella. And I'm like, no, you don't understand, it's wet right there, it's like puddly. So that's one thing to get rained on, but I don't want her to walk through the water with her shoes. So anyway, I'm trying to explain to her, and she starts losing her shit. My mom didn't pack it. She didn't pack my umbrella. And I was trying not to laugh because I didn't want. She's got a little temper, man. It was funny. Anyway, so she got out and she saw a friend, and then that frown went away. She started smiling and talking. Anyway, it was cute. Two little girls. They were all running down the sidewalk together. Anyway, it made me laugh. You had to be there. Anyway, I was talking about, me trying to, this guy pisses me off that he's right here. Like, I want to make a right turn, and he's got plenty of room on the left side, and he's going to make a left with all this traffic, and I just want to get by and make a right turn. Anyway, so I'm talking about taking all these exams, applying for jobs. And I've noticed, like, I got, like, not denied, but, it's like when the HR sends you a letter, says, we're sorry, but we picked, somebody else, in, paraphrasing. But it's not like I didn't qualify. It's like they selected other people. I'm like, shouldn't all these jobs, I guess you should be able to take like some kind of exam or have some kind of interview process. It's like, I've noticed these smaller towns, like, they just cut to the chase. They're like, we didn't pick you, sorry, next time, whatever. And it's usually the smaller towns. And then, like, yesterday, I applied for community service officer, and mind you, it's not community service officer 2 or 3, it's 1, and it's entry level, and it's essentially like, just like, you don't know what you're doing. You're starting this job, and you're going to be trained to be whatever. Well, I qualified. I have a degree. I have the work experience. I have the customer service experience, or dealing with the public. Anyway, so they had basically said, we're sorry, but we picked like the most. Come on, let's go. God, I don't understand people at four-way stops. Like, they don't understand who goes first. Like, when you get there first, you're fucking first, right? Unless you're on the right side or something like that. I know there's some rule in that, but it's like that person was just sitting there waiting for me. Anyway, the point I'm getting at is, like, I qualified for it, but they picked more qualified individuals for the next process. I don't know what the next process is. Interview? Now, the only thing I could think of is, like, okay, maybe they hired another code enforcement officer, somebody already has experience in that, and I would understand, right? But I heard like, these smaller towns have a huge problem, especially in this area, and probably all over the United States, to be honest. In smaller towns, they have this mentality, like, they don't like outsiders, right? They don't want people from the bigger town to come to the small town. And there's a problem with nepotism. If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically, we only want to hire our people. So, it's like you got let's say a city supervisor, and they decide they want to pick, a nephew or a son or somebody of relation or somebody, a friend from church or something like that. It's usually people that you're related to. And you see that a lot. I know here in Fresno, you saw it a lot in city parks. And it was a big joke when I worked for the city for the water division. Oh, that's such and such, that's his brother, and or that's his wife. And it's like they were hiring people they know and not going through. It kind of reminded me of this whole DEI thing going on. Well, I'm not going to get into that, but yeah. So nepotism is big in small towns, and I almost wonder. It's like I applied for like 5 or 6 jobs over the last couple years, and they were smaller towns. Fowler, Kerman, and I was like qualified, but there was like a couple times I wasn't even notified of anything. Like, okay, did you accept my application? Did you not? Is it on file? And then one position, I can't remember what it was, but there was like 5 positions available. I'm like, okay, well, I'd like to go through this, process. I don't know. Maybe there's an exam or whatever, and then I didn't hear anything about it. It's like I'm wondering if people are there and they kind of like screen your resume or your application. They just kind of discard it right there, and then, I mean, isn't it like ethical or non-ethical just to like not say anything, not send a like courtesy letter? Oh, we reviewed your qualifications, and you fucking suck, or you're not related to us, or telling me something, It just got me to think, because I got this notice, and I was a little butthurt. I was like, man, that'd be kind of cool. And I have applied for, in fact, code enforcement was one of the jobs in, I believe it was Fowler, that I applied for. And then I had got an actual email from the HR people, and they said, you don't qualify for this. And then I was like, you mean the fact that I don't have this, and that? But I do. If you review my application or my resume, okay, we'll review it. And then they're like, oh, you do qualify. And then I don't hear anything. So it's almost like he caught us in the fuck up. And then we'll just hope he forgets about it. I don't know. It was just so fucking weird. And it got me to thinking, this response I got yesterday, that they didn't say I didn't qualify. They just they picked certain more qualified candidates to move on. Okay, I can understand. Like, somebody probably had code enforcement experience. I don't, and so it's like I'm not butthurt over it, but it got me to thinking. One, don't you want like a bigger pool of candidates to kind of go through a process? Like, you're just gonna like pick and choose here. It's like, oh, we're just gonna interview 2 or 3 people. It's like, well, what if there's somebody that doesn't have code enforcement experience? What if they are actually a better candidate? Like, you wouldn't want them to, like basically build a pool large enough to where you can have plenty to choose from. But it's like, and it's a small town. It really is. Yeah, so, okay, they denied me. I don't know. They didn't say if they're going to keep my shit on file, if, I'm going to be considered later on, or whatever the case may be. It's like, a little shady. It just, something just didn't seem right. And it just reminded me about the nepotism thing and these other small towns just kind of being shady with their process. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go sleep. I'm like it's like I have problems like just thinking right now. So but I wanted to talk about that because I'm like, that's pretty dirty if you think about it, because like municipalities aren't supposed to be like that. It's not like, you know, a private company and they only want to get their people in, you know. That, I'm sure that happens more than anything, but like these governmental, you know, local government municipalities, they shouldn't be doing that, but they do. And I mean, that's what I heard, in at least in the city parks department here in Fresno. Given that was, you know, almost 20 years ago, I mean, things might have changed since then, but it's still happening in small towns, small town USA. So kind of sucks, you know. It should, like, the position should just be open for a process, and it shouldn't matter where you're from, what color you are, you know, what your last name is or whatever. It should be open. And yeah, you get the best qualified people. And if I'm not it, you know, I'd like to at least try, go through the process. So anyway, all right, guys, I'm gonna go to sleep for a couple hours. I will see you later.